Hello dear Homepedia family. When you step into a truly authentic hacienda, you immediately notice a shift in the atmosphere that goes beyond mere decoration or furniture placement. It is the distinct quality of light that washes over the rough-hewn white stucco walls, creating a texture that feels ancient yet incredibly modern. This interplay of sun and shadow is not accidental, but the result of centuries of architectural refinement designed to tame the harsh sun while inviting its warmth. The light here does not just illuminate, it shapes the very soul of the home. In this video, we are going to dissect the specific architectural elements that make this lighting magic possible, from the orientation of the building to the materials underfoot. We will reveal how strategic fenestration and internal courtyards create a seamless indoor-outdoor flow that feels both expansive and intimate. If you want to transform your space into a sanctuary of soulful minimalism using nothing but natural light and smart design, keep watching to uncover the timeless secrets of the hacienda style. Subscribe for more design wisdom. The foundation of hacienda lighting begins long before the first stone is laid. It starts with a deep understanding of the sun's trajectory across the specific landscape. Authentic Spanish colonial architecture prioritizes the orientation of the structure to maximize winter warmth, while shielding the interior from the scorching summer heat. This strategic placement ensures that sunlight enters the home as a welcome guest rather than an overwhelming intruder, setting a balanced baseline for the interior mood throughout the changing seasons. Central to this architectural style is the interior courtyard, which acts as the lungs of the home and a primary source of indirect illumination for the surrounding rooms. By centering the living spaces around an open-air atrium, light is allowed to penetrate from the center outwards, diffusing softly into the adjacent corridors. This design choice creates a sanctuary of calm where the harsh glare of direct sunlight is tempered by the courtyard walls, resulting in a gentle, ambient glow that defines the authentic hacienda aesthetic. Surrounding these courtyards are often deep verandas or porticos, which serve as essential transition spaces that filter light before it reaches the interior living quarters. These shaded walkways protect the vertical walls from direct solar gain, preventing heat buildup while allowing reflected light to bounce inside. This architectural buffer zone creates a visual gradient of light, moving from the bright outdoors to the cool, shadowed interior, which significantly enhances the feeling of depth and spatial complexity within the home. The wall themselves play a critical role in light manipulation, typically constructed from thick adobe or masonry to provide significant thermal mass cooling. The depth of these walls creates substantial window reveals and sills, which act as light shelves that bounce sunlight up towards the ceiling. This diffusion technique reduces contrast and eliminates glare, ensuring that the illumination within the room is even and soft. It transforms a simple window into a sculptural element that frames the view while modulating the light intensity. Texture is paramount in hacienda interiors, particularly the use of hand-troweled stucco or lime plaster on the walls, which interacts beautifully with grazing light. Unlike flat, smooth drywall which can feel sterile, the undulating surface of authentic plaster catches the light in microshadows, adding richness and character. As the sun moves across the sky, the walls seem to come alive, shifting in tone and texture, making the static architecture feel dynamic and organically connected to the passage of time and nature. The color palette of these walls is almost exclusively kept to warm whites or earthy neutrals, which serves a functional purpose beyond just visual simplicity. White surfaces maximize the reflection of available light, pushing it deeper into the floor plan without the need for artificial sources during the day. However, because the texture is matte rather than glossy, the reflection is diffuse rather than specular, contributing to that serene, hazy atmosphere that is synonymous with rustic luxury and soulful minimalism. Grounding this ethereal light are the floors, typically paved with handmade terracotta tiles or saltillo that offer a warm, reddish-brown counterpoint to the white walls. These darker, earthy floors absorb some of the light, preventing the space from feeling too bright or clinical, and they help anchor the room visually. The sheen of a sealed terracotta tile provides a subtle reflection, pulling the sunlight across the floor and adding a layer of warmth that feels incredibly inviting and grounded in the earth. Looking upwards, the ceiling treatment in a hacienda often features exposed wood beams, known as vigas, often with smaller sticks called latillas placed between them. These structural elements break up the ceiling plane and catch the rising ambient light, creating a rhythmic pattern of shadows overhead. This contrast between the dark, heavy wood and the lighter walls compresses the vertical space slightly, making the rooms feel more intimate and protected, enhancing the psychological feeling of safety and enclosure. The shape of the openings is another defining characteristic, with arched windows and doors being a hallmark of Spanish Colonial and Hacienda design. The curve of an arch softens the harsh lines of rectangular construction and frames the incoming light in a more organic, fluid manner. Psychologically, these curves mimic the forms found in nature, contributing to a biophilic response that creates a sense of ease. An arched doorway invites movement, suggesting a flow between spaces that is gentle rather than abrupt. Clear-story windows are frequently employed in larger rooms or hallways to bring in light from high above without compromising privacy or security. By placing windows near the roofline, light can wash over the ceiling and descend into the room, providing general illumination that preserves the cool atmosphere. This technique is particularly effective in spaces with high ceilings, ensuring that the upper volume of the room is not lost in darkness, but is instead celebrated as part of the architectural volume. In contrast to modern glass boxes, authentic haciendas often utilize smaller, more strategic window openings to maintain thermal control and privacy. These smaller apertures create focused beams of light that travel across the room like a sundial, marking the hours of the day. This constraint makes the light feel more precious and dramatic, creating pools of brightness amidst the shadows, which adds a sense of mystery and drama to the interior that uniform lighting simply cannot achieve. Wrought iron window grilles and frames are standard features that add a layer of decorative shadow play to the interior surfaces. When sunlight strikes these intricate iron patterns, it projects complex, lace-like shadows onto the floors and walls, effectively decorating the room with light. These shifting patterns add a layer of visual interest that requires no physical clutter, adhering to the principles of soulful minimalism, where the architecture itself provides the ornamentation. Wooden shutters, often installed on the interior, provide the occupants with complete control over the amount of light and air entering the space. Unlike curtains, solid shutters can block out the sun entirely for a midday siesta, or be thrown wide open to welcome the morning breeze. This manual interaction with the building's envelope fosters a deeper connection between the inhabitant and the environment, allowing one to fine-tune the mood of the room instantly based on the weather or the activity. The concept of indoor-outdoor flow is not just about physical access, but about the visual continuity of light across the threshold. By using consistent flooring materials that run from the inside out to the veranda, the eye is drawn outward, expanding the perceived space. The light acts as a bridge, blurring the boundary between the shelter of the home and the exposure of the garden, making the interior feel intimately connected to the natural world outside, reinforcing the hacienda lifestyle. Morning light is usually captured in kitchens and breakfast nooks, which are oriented to the east to catch the first energizing rays of the sun. This cool, crisp light wakes up the home and its inhabitants, highlighting the textures of natural materials like wood and stone. The strategic placement of these functional spaces ensures that the daily rhythm of life is synchronized with the solar cycle, promoting a healthy circadian rhythm and a cheerful start to the day in a sun-drenched environment. Conversely, spaces intended for relaxation in the evening are often shielded from the intense, low-angle light of the setting western sun. Thick walls and deep overhangs prevent this harsh light from overheating the interior, keeping living rooms cool and comfortable. Instead of direct glare, these rooms might receive the softer, reflected glow of the sunset bouncing off a garden wall, creating a warm, golden ambience that signals the body to wind down and prepare for rest. Corridors in hacienda homes are rarely dark tunnels. They are often designed as gallerias with a rhythm of windows or doors opening onto the courtyard. This repetition of light and structure creates a dynamic walking experience where one passes through alternating pools of light and shadow. This rhythm gives the sensation of movement and flow, propelling the occupant forward while providing glimpses of the outdoors, making the simple act of walking through the house a sensory journey. Accents of zellage tile or glazed ceramics are frequently used in kitchens, bathrooms, or stair risers to introduce color and reflection. The uneven surface of these handmade tiles catches the light in a multitude of directions, creating a shimmering, water-like effect. This sparkle creates a focal point and adds a touch of vibrancy to the otherwise matte and earthy palette, proving that light can be used to add glamour and liveliness without disrupting the overall rustic tranquility. Biophilic design elements, such as large potted plants placed near windows or within the courtyard, filter the light further to create dappled patterns. The leaves break up the solid beams of sunlight, casting moving shadows that mimic the experience of sitting under a tree canopy. This connection to nature is essential in Hacienda design, where the goal is to create a living environment that feels organic and alive, reducing stress and enhancing the overall sense of well-being. Lime wash is another finish often applied to walls. which differs from standard paint by penetrating the masonry and crystallizing to create a luminous surface. This material allows the walls to breathe and creates a finish that seems to glow from within when hit by sunlight. The visual softness of lime wash contributes significantly to the mood, eliminating harsh lines and creating a backdrop that feels velvety and ageless, perfectly suiting the serene vibe of a Spanish retreat. The presence of dust motes dancing in shafts of light is a distinct atmospheric quality found in these interiors, often highlighted by the contrast with darker corners. While modern design often seeks to eliminate all shadows, Hacienda's style embraces them as essential for depth and mood. This visible atmosphere adds a layer of tangible quietness to the space, creating a cathedral-like effect where the air itself seems to have substance and presence, inviting contemplation and stillness. The psychological impact of this specific lighting design is profound, fostering a sense of protection, grounding, and connection to the earth. By avoiding the uniform brightness of modern open-plan offices, Hacienda interiors allow the eyes to rest and the mind to wander. The varying light levels define different zones for different activities naturally, without the need for walls, creating a flow that is felt intuitively rather than enforced structurally, leading to a more relaxed way of living. Modern adaptations of the Hacienda style, respect these traditional principles while incorporating larger expanses of glass to suit contemporary tastes. However, successful modern interpretations still rely on deep overhangs and orientation to manage the light, ensuring the spirit of the original architecture is preserved. The goal remains the same: to use natural light as a primary building material that shapes the experience of the space, blending the old wisdom of thermal mass with new aesthetics. Ultimately, the authentic Hacienda interior is a masterclass in the synthesis of material, form, and nature to create a specific emotional response. It is not about maximizing light quantity, but about curating light quality to enhance the textures of organic materials and the flow of daily life. By balancing the bright sun with cool shadows, these homes offer a timeless lesson in designing for human comfort, proving that the most luxurious element in any interior is the way it holds the light. By examining the authentic hacienda, we learn that natural light is not merely a utility for vision, but a powerful tool for sculpting mood and defining spatial flow. From the protective depth of the porticos to the shimmering imperfection of zellage tiles, every element works in concert to harness the sun. These interiors teach us that true luxury lies in the quiet interplay of shadow and glow, creating environments that feel deeply grounding and connected to the natural rhythms of the world outside. If you are inspired to bring this soulful minimalism into your own home, start by observing how light enters your space and consider using texture and natural materials to capture it. Do not be afraid of shadows. Embrace them as the necessary counterpart to light that adds depth and drama to your design. For more deep dives into architectural styles that nourish the soul, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Let us know in the comments which Hacienda element you love most.